Hello everyone, I felt like playing to Vagrant Story and having some fun. And no, it's not this, it's a new game. I wanted to share my gameplay with you guys. We call this game Vagrant Story for Dummies because we'll make it easy. And it's not gonna be a story spoiler game. It's a great story, but I'm not gonna get through it. I'm gonna skip it. So if you want to see the whole game, I guess it's not the right video for you, but just gonna play the game, have some fun with it. So let's first turn my weapon status on because I like to see the affinity change in my weapon. And let's turn puzzle mode to off because this thing can be quite annoying. And if you do this, pressing the select button, you see this path come more easily, so you get actually more vision of what is coming around you. So it's not a bad thing. Of course, Ashley seems smaller, but it doesn't matter. But that's not what I wanted to do. So, it's the beginning. It's annoying to fight in the beginning because I don't have my chain. So I'd kill those pesky bats, but I'll avoid the rest because it doesn't give me much benefit at the moment. Yep. Actually, if I was hitting everything, it would actually hurt my weapon TP since I cannot repair it yet. So, but at the same time, when you hit stuff, you reduce the weapon DP, but you augment the weapon PP. DP is for damage point, PP is for phantom point. So you get 25% attack bonus when you have full PP, and you get a 25% attack bonus when you have full DP. So if you don't repair your weapon, eventually the DP is gonna run out and your weapon will deal less damage. But it's quite easy to repair this in a workshop, but there is a chain I will get soon that allow me to maintain it, and if I maintain it, I maintain my damage, so it's a good chain. It's a good thing to bring along. So with DP and PP, I'm actually talking about the numbers that is at the top left. So DP 121 on 126, and the PP is at 46 at the moment. So the more damage I deal, the more the PP will go up, and my damage increase up to 25% because of this, which is a good thing. So I got stuck in the wall, but it doesn't matter. So it's the first block of the game. They are used for some puzzle, the puzzle mode doesn't um, doesn't stop you from doing puzzle, but once the puzzle is done, if you come back to this portion of the map, you actually won't have to do the puzzle another time. So it's a good thing, because it's annoying to do the same puzzle over and over, and they will sometimes stop you when you enter a room and give you some sort of challenge that gives no benefits. So it's good to stop that too. And this is our first boss. Let's hit the head, because that's the most damage I can do. So one thing you have to know about this game, you don't have to run away from the enemies. They will follow you and hit you no matter what. The only way you can delay an attack if you can make an enemy jump. So you jump on a cliff and they jump and follow you. They cannot target you while you are in the air, and they cannot target you while they are in the air too. I missed it. Yep, the strength +3 was just before this HP +4. I was just a bit too early. Doesn't matter much. This game is... the stats are useful, but it's more a game about the gear you are using rather than the stats you have. But it's nice to get good stats. It helps a lot. So usually what you want is to gain strength, intelligence or agility from the stat wheel after a boss. So temper is the nice one that restores my DP. It repairs a little. So actually it won't restore the DP, it will maintain the DP. It's actually badly worded, so it misleads the people. And AV shot is the next good chain. Gain life is the third one. Not a lot useful. Seems good on paper, but it's not that great. So there's a training dummy. If you want to raise the physical, you can strike at it and look at your physical property and the weapon rise. But it's not something I need to do, because it's only the first weapon. Of course, when you go at the workshop, if you bring that weapon and merge it with another, the highest stats will carry over the new weapon, so it's not a bad thing to raise the physical property of the weapon to make it the highest property, because it will carry over. But if you're not mixing another weapon with your weapon, it's a waste of time. But to be honest, I will mix my Fandango and carry it this way most of the game. So if you want to make it easy, you can strike at the dummy. Just make sure when you strike at the dummy, don't chain, because you won't gain much benefits from the training dummy if you chain a lot. What you want is just swing at it a lot of time to trigger the weapon status change more often. But it's not required to make the game easy. But one could say it would help a lot if you have bad stats. But if I notice I'm having very bad stats because the run is not doing so well, I can fix it with a training dummy. I don't have to do this now because the game is so easy, and maybe my stats will be good if I'm lucky. So let's give some chance to the elixirs that raise my stat and to the stat wheel after the bosses. Maybe I'll be having a good time with those. Come on. It's a good thing to see more stuff. It's funny to say, but I'm knowing this game pretty well, and it's not been that long that I've learned that I could move the camera farther away from Ashley and see more stuff, which is actually quite useful in my opinion, especially to target enemies like bats that are fast moving. So there is a healing trap at this location, but I was almost full. At this place there's a better weapon drop. It's guaranteed if when you kill this monster, his rapier is always dropping. And it's a good thing because I'm gonna use it to get a better weapon kind of soon. I don't have to now. I can wait later. These monsters have a 100% drop rate also, and I think they give Vera roots and bulb, which can be quite useful to lower the risk. At the moment I have 10 risk, and one thing to remember to keep the game easy is to fix the risk when it gets too high, because there's actually two bad benefits to the risk. It lowers your agility, meaning that the enemies will target you more easily, and you will target them less easily. And the other bad thing that it does is that you take more damage when they hit you. And if they crit you and the risk is very high, if you're not full HP, it could kill you. And if you're a noob and you already started playing the game and you find that you have a hard time playing with it, I'm sure you know what I mean. Or when a boss is breading you with the dragon bread, or is doing a AoE spell on each of your member and they one-shot you, it's not a fun thing, and the easy fix for this is keep your risk low and wear a shield. At the moment the shield is not necessary, but wear it. And I suggest, if it's your first playthrough, don't go for two-handed weapon because you'll lose the shield. you have to understand that you can get one shot by some enemies if you don't have a shield, even if your risk is at 0. I'm talking about liches in particular. Too soon again. The strength +3 was just after this one. I'm usually not having bad time doing this, but when I record somehow, maybe it's OBS messing with my frame rate, but it seems fine. It's at 60 FPS. So I don't think it's this. Maybe it's just me. I'm tired or something like this, or maybe I'm distracted. If you find me out to understand, bear with me. I think it's kind of obvious that I'm not a native English speaker. So as you can see, I'm gonna show you something. I'm not gonna change from my Fandango to the rapier, because as you can see, you see the text at the bottom. You see that I'm targeting the body. The HP is 75 damage. My accuracy is 100% for this hit. And the target is single, meaning it's not some AoE damage. No, so area of effect. And LIT is for light damage. And the type is beast. So I'm not switching from the Fandango at the moment, because my weapon is dealing light affinity damage because of the weapon status change that I had hitting the wolves, and light affinity is the go-to damage for the undead. So it's a good thing for this place. If you've read some guide, they will tell you that the thing you need to pay attention to is the type of damage of your weapon, meaning that they will require you to bring a blunt weapon, a piercing weapon, and edged weapon, dealing slashing damage. Okay. It's not a bad advice. In fact, it's alright, but you need to keep in mind that the most important thing in this game is affinity. Affinity is more important than the damage of your weapon in like 90% of the case, and like 9 times out of 10, maybe even more than this. So most of the guides are actually misleading the players, because the fact is that most of the loot in the treasure chest and from the drop of the enemies comes in the form of edged weapons, meaning that you are likely to carry a very good edged sword, and your blunt and piercing weapon is just not up to par with your edged weapon. So what happens is that they give you some great spells with the X button. Okay, it's enchanter spells, and they boost your affinity with your weapon, meaning that you deal 15% extra attack power. Okay, and you will hit with the chosen affinity, which is a lot better than hitting the right damage with a blunt edged and piercing. And I think most of the guides fail to explain it in a way that makes the game easy, and I second this with the fact that it's one of the first game in the genre, and they didn't give us the quality of life of having a quick weapon swap. You have to go through the menu each time, and it's painful. A real pain. It's too slow. So I will weapon swap from time to time, but I don't want to swap all the time, which sucks a lot. If you read the guides, they will tell you use this kind of weapon against beasts, and use another one for phantom, and use another one for undead, because it will raise class attack power against those type of enemies. And let me tell you something. It's not a good strat for this game. You will lose so much time. You see this gem, Irelis, I just looted. Okay? It's a gem that gives plus 15 into the class damage against humans. And it's a trap. You will feel like you have to equip this to deal damage to the humans, and you will equip it, and you will find that you're not dealing that much damage. Maybe you're even dealing 0 damage, because it's something that happens to new players in the game, and they mislead you into thinking that you need this. Listen, class from the weapon, this section that's called class: human -1, beast 8, undead -1, phantom -2, dragon -1, evil -5. It doesn't matter much. Believe me, if you have 100 into one type, sure, it's 25% extra attack power. I concede. It's useful, but it's not that useful. I call this the cherry on top of the sundae. A good thing to have when you have it, but it's not so good. And one thing to notice is that many new players will fall for the Soul Kiss. This thing I just looked at, they will see, oh, it has 2000 power, therefore it's good against undead, and they will take the weapon, they will use it, they will target an undead, and oh, right, it has 20 against the undead, and I'm doing 51 damage, even though my PP is not full, so therefore it's good to have a high number into undead. And they failed to realize that the weapon is actually doing good damage to undead because it's light affinity. That's what matters. And so they will extrapolate and try to make a weapon with like 30 against dragon. Okay? And they will go inside the boss without PP, without their full DP, without the height affinity, and they will keep wondering, why is it that I'm doing so low damage? Because the game is misleading. So I'm gonna combine my scimitar with I think it was with the spear, get the spada. That's a straight downgrade. The spada is a worse blade than the Fandango, but there's an exception to the crafting rule. Usually when you are crafting, you want to combine a tier of weapon with the tier of weapon that comes either before or either after the tier of weapon you are using to upgrade your path of weapon. But in the sword case, the spada combines with the rapier, but the rapier is 2 tier of weapon better than the spada, but it's one exception. Okay, it's not the usual rule. Usually you want to get one weapon tier above the weapon you are using or below the weapon you are using to come across the next tier of weapon. So I'm gonna use the crossguard here because now I gain the brave art, which is a +5 agility boost to my weapon, but more importantly, it's increasing my attack success rate by 20%, and I hate missing my attacks. It's one of the best gem in the game. I think it's like the best gem you can find in your first playthrough, and it's also happening to be the first one you find. I already repaired, so since I'm here and equipping new equipment, I take my new upgraded sword, my shield, because why not? And I'm gonna take the armor, which is a buff. Oh, let's review the accessory. So the accessory is appearing into the armor space of the inventory, but you have to understand that it's not just for your defense, okay? The strength, intelligence, and agility modifier you see on the bottom right side of the corner of the screen, okay? It gives 1 intelligence for my, not just for my defense, but for my offense also. Same with the undead. I have more defense against the undead, but I also have more offense against the undead. So it's like useful. It's like pseudo weapon slot, but it's also armor slot. So it's, you have to keep an eye on this. Okay. For example, if it had 15 edged, it also increased my edged damage by 15, which is a good thing if you find something like this. Told you, it's how to make Vagrant Story easy. Okay, it's some sort of a guide where I play and give explanation at the same time. So I'm playing because I like this game, and if you happens to want to make it easier, go ahead and look. don't have to look at everything. Probably that the most useful explanation will be right at the beginning of the game. And still is a great weapon if you forget to raise your PP before a boss and you are stuck with a bad weapon dealing 0 damage and you want to weapon swap. You will think there's a ghost here. It can drop a grimoire, so I want to get it. But it's very rare to get the grimoire. Anyway, so I forgot what I was telling. But yeah, okay, end still. Okay. So you can use the end still chain to raise your weapon PP and see if somehow you start to deal some damage to the boss once you get PP on your weapon, because one newbie mistake is to enter a boss room with like 8 weapons. There's only one weapon with PP and the 7 other weapons are with 0 PP. And they begin swapping all their weapon one by one and swear, why am I doing 0 damage? This weapon is doing blunt damage. I should be doing damage using blunt from what I read in the guide. Just raise the PP with end still. It's gonna fix your problem. I need a glove. So I noticed that I failed to use my elixir. I stopped at 8 chain on purpose because after 8 chain I start to use like 4 times the risk per chain. It's a lot of risk, okay? And having high risk is a bad thing. So I'm gonna use a few of my elixirs, okay? It's gonna take a while. I forgot to use it. And let's hope for some good stats from my elixir of king. Oh, 2 is not so great. Maximum is 4. It goes from 1 to 4. So elixir of mage plus 4 please. Nope. All plus 2. Gonna be one of those runs where my stats are not that good. Yup. By the way, I'm not too concerned with rolling bad stats. The game is still pretty easy, even with bad stats. So, should be fine. I'd say the stat you want the less, it may seem counterintuitive, but I'd say the HP is not the most important stat. You may have noticed that I am always shedding my weapon when I'm not into combat, and it's to make sure that my risk is depleting faster. Because when the weapon is shedded, the NP is rising faster and the risk is lowering faster also. So I actually forgot something important at the workshop, but it's fine since it's where I'm going. I have to return to unlock the door from this room, so it's fine. I wanted to create a new broadsword. So I have to, you see this one has 15 in air. I mean it has 5 in air. But I want a broadsword with more air damage because of the next boss that's coming. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the N axe and the gas half bow, and this way I have 8 into air. It's gonna be easy to get the air broadsword with this. So I'm gonna also assemble my broadsword. Doesn't matter if I don't have a gem inside. Okay. And I'm gonna attach a gem to my spear. Because it's gonna improve the stats a little. And let's move further on. So I'm gonna start by improving the iron spear. I will need some PP, so I'm gonna use ant cell. It was too fast. See what I'm meaning with the seeing the bats come? That's what I was meaning. From having pressing the select button. So my spear is not that great against these undead, so I'm gonna come straight to this place. And hopefully I'll get some PP first. And then I should be like at quarter PP, I guess. 1/3. Which is a lot better. So and still is only implanting like 10% of the PP. So I'm shedding my weapon because when you cast a spell, you use your weapon PP to improve the spell, so it consumes 1 PP, and I don't need to consume 1 PP with the debuff. So you see I'm hitting for 32, which means I'm gonna gain 3 phantom point with and still when I hit with it it's only 3 damage, so it's why I debuffed it to raise the PP faster and maintain my risk lower. And that's slow and that miss. That's unfortunate. If you want to know about the chain timing, there is an exclamation mark above my head. It's orange and it's flashing at the moment I need to press the button. So I'm not debuffing this one because I'm already full PP at the moment because of the few ends still I had made. So I'm gonna swap weapon again because there's going to have some undead to beat that are quite tanky in the next room, and I want my light affinity for this. I'm slow. So this slime here is what I want to use my sword. First I go and kill this one because I don't like swapping weapon all the time. I'll use my position to fight the slime that's coming on me because I'll make sure it jumps all the time. It's not gonna be able to hit me. So I need the broadsword with the 8 air. So I'm gonna use the weapon status until I know I'm hitting air. I'm gonna jump to stop it from targeting me. I'm gonna jump again. See? That's the only way you can run from an enemy. It's you make it jump and you jump. That's the only way. I'm not lucky at the moment. Yeah, that's it. Now it's full air, as you can see. I'm gonna raise the PP a little. Okay, so how much PP do I have? Not enough yet. No worry. There's a ghost I think I can use to grind some PP. So I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna learn those spells. I'm not going to fight the undead with the great sword because, like I said, I don't like swapping weapon all the time, and air damage is quite bad against skeletons. So there's a ghost here. I'm gonna use Ant Still on this ghost. Yep, that should do the trick. Chain. Well, it's all bad moves. So like I said, I don't like to fight undead, so I'm gonna use a spell first that is doing light damage. It's gonna be a lot faster because air damage is not so great, as you can see. I still need my PP up. So I'm gonna gain only 1 PP from this. Better than nothing. Like I said, I ain't gonna fight those. This one I'm gonna fight, however. I've been lucky. It has a fire breath and it can deal quite a lot of damage if not taken care properly. Okay, by now I should be full PP. I'm not gonna hit this bat. It can lower my air damage by giving me a earth damage. You could see weapon status change with the air -1, and I will return to physical, and we want air damage against this boss. So I'm gonna start by debuffing the boss, because that's the thing you want. So I have 102 strength, so the next stat is intelligence, so I'm gonna get the intelligence wheel after this boss. I'm gonna try to time it properly to have intelligence +3. This boss, you want to hit the chest. Miss. That's what you get for not bringing a braver. I missed my braver. Okay, that's unfortunate. It's also working on the arm, so it's fine. I guess the hit rate is better. And that should do the trick. Let's try to time this. Think I got it. So the next wheel should be the agility wheel, but because I have my lowest stat is agility, okay? But if I get +2 with my elixir of dragon, I'd get the strength wheel. I will get the strength wheel, the next boss. Okay, so I'm gonna raise my spear PP, isn't it? It's already a good one. Anyway, my next weapon for the next part is this. So, bring it on. As I said, it's not great against undead. I could, for sure, I could use my short sword, but I don't like weapon swapping too much. Jump before it hits. That's the only way to avoid attacks. It's by jumping. Also, when you get in front of a boss, not the boss in the street, but boss in the battle of the game, one good thing to do also is just mash the circle button as fast as you can to trigger the battle mode like this, because weak to piercing damage. Uh-oh. Because the faster you are to enter the circle mode of the battle, by circle I mean the sphere, like this, to target, the more you will hit between each of the boss attacks. And that's what you want, to take less damage. Like this, I'm spamming. Otherwise, I'm gonna get it. So, I'm gonna go at a dragon boss that has a fire breath. I'm gonna improve my equipment for some more damage and some more defense. And as soon as I get close to the dragon, it's gonna try to fire breath me. So I would jump to avoid the fire breath, and I would land under the head of the dragon, and he cannot breath me from below its head. And if you stay far from this boss, it is gonna kill you. So jump like this, okay? This way. And I was too fast. I was spamming to try to get the one more attack. I'm bad with the spear in the end. Oh my god, my timing is awful. So I use the trick where I press the button for the shortcut just to make sure if the boss is attacking me and I'm not spamming circle because of this, I will have a chance to reflect damage. Or maybe I get one more try at dealing damage, like I did, okay? But I failed, I missed. So this time I did the same thing, but now I know he's attacking me. Okay, so I didn't waste my counter attack or my defense with the chain, because I wasn't spamming circle. So my risk is a bit too high for my targeting, so I'm gonna heal before I cure the risk, because if you cure the risk first, you're gonna heal for less. So always heal first, then cure the risk. And now you can see that I'm at 89% chance of hitting. I'm gonna try to finish this boss right now. Oh my god, I'm bad with spear. It's the only part of the game I'm using a spear, so bear with me. It's because it's a piercing weapon that deals a lot of damage on this boss. I was slow. Come on. It should be dead already. Very bad. Maybe it's because I'm talking at the same time. I don't know. I'm gonna press the shortcut button because I expect an attack, but I'm not sure. Maybe I get time for one more hit. That's it. So that's the strength wheel we were saying before. Got it. No! No, I didn't got it. Just a tad too late. Oh my god. I thought I had it. Just too bad. Okay. Let's buff because there's another boss right here. Let's debuff this one. Let's learn the new spell, which is Analyze. And it missed. If you want to know how to analyze, after you cast a spell, you go into status and you press L1 or R1 button to switch from enemies, okay? And if you analyze it, you can see what's what they are, what stat they have, okay? It's funny that I can see what's the equipment, yeah, but since I didn't analyze it, but that's how it's done, okay? I'm not usually using this. It's more because I wanted to use the grimoire and learn the spell. So I want the rapier. It's going to be... I want the cross guard also. Gonna remove end still and gain magic. I'm gonna heal my risk because I will need to hit the boss properly, and I don't want to be killed by his explosion. So the first thing you want to do on a boss that is casting AoE spell is hit the head for a few damage. If I didn't manage to do it, but if I do enough damage on the head, he won't be able to use the explosion. I think it was enough damage. So this boss has a very good chain defense. I'm not bothering too much with the... Oh, he still casts spells. I thought I did enough damage on the head. That's it, that should do it. He's dead anyway, so it's fine. Let's get the strength wheel. That's... oh, I get the strength +3. Got it. This time it's fine. That's a good weapon. I'll take it. That's a good armor. I'll take it. In fact, everything is good in this battle, so let's take it all. Let's remove the poison. So with the Wizard Hope, I'm gonna have a high intelligence defense. So I'm gonna resist most of the spells. One thing to keep in mind is that when a spell doesn't let the user choose a target, it's usually targeting the body. So by equipping the Wizard Rope on my body, every spell that's targeting me and not a part of my body, like the arm or the, for example, the silence spell, okay, I'm gonna have more defense with the Wizard Robe against a silence spell, okay. That's a thing to keep in mind. So this spear, I'm not gonna use it anymore, so I'm gonna combine it with my broadsword that's having less air damage. So this way it's gonna turn to iron, okay? And now one thing to know about iron and bronze is that if you combine them together, you get Hagane, okay? And Hagan is very good in this game. It's the second best material. The best one is Damascus, okay? But Hagan is pretty good, so it's nice to combine iron and bronze to improve the weapon. So you can see that there's bronze, it's the lowest tier, then there is iron and then Hagane, okay? Silver weapon is not that much damage, but it has a good light damage, which I want for some enemies. So now I can use the rapier that is iron with the short sword, okay? So rapier is one tier lower. Oh my god, okay. I forgot something. There's an exception, okay. So I want a spada again. So what's the way I was getting the spada? It was with the Gazarm. Yup. So I get another spada. So I'm downgrading my short sword by 3 tier just to make sure I make another short sword, okay? But this time, instead of being bronze, it is again, okay? Meaning that it has 4 more power than what I had before, okay? And now I'm gonna assemble the weapons, okay? So this one, I'm gonna use it with Iralis for one specific boss. This one would be my go-to weapon. I'm gonna use Dragonite. And this one I'm gonna swap it. And this one, what? I forgot something. I forgot to assemble my wizard staff. That's gonna be my weapon against the undead. Okay. Most people are going to use the South Kiss against the undead, but I prefer the wizard staff. just because of the breakout selection, and I like having some blunt damage. Okay. And that's it. Let's move on, and on the next boss I'm gonna have intelligence wheel. Do I have elixirs? Yes, I have. Oh yes, that's a good one. So, next wheel is agility. So I'm gonna need and still later on with the staffs you get the second break art. That's called break art. Okay. No, it's called risk break, and it lowers the risk, so it's a good one. So do I have and still? Yes, I have. I find out that somehow blunt weapon are better suited against skeletons and undead than the piercing from the sulcus. And I think I'm full PP already. Well, I hope I am. Anyway, I'm gonna swap weapon again. Yep, full PP. So that's the intelligence weapon, but it doesn't matter because it's still solo. I still have a good amount of PP on this weapon, so it's fine. I don't have to swap it yet. Only for one specific boss, and then I don't need it anymore. So, to fight these bats, I really do want my Braveheart and the select vision. This way it's easier to hit them first. So I hope that so far it helps you making this game a lot easier. What's funny about Vagrant Story is that it has a steep curve at the beginning of the game. It's hard. You hit 4-0 on most of the bosses, and you get one-shotted because you don't know about the risk and that it's dangerous to get the risk too high. And most new players think this game is obnoxious because of this, and they just rage quit. While it's funny that in fact they give everything you need under your eye most of the time, just before you need it. Like this enemy over here, the mimic that started to move, he is weak to fire. But guess what inside this chest? When I was telling you that affinity is very important, I'm gonna show you one example of this. Okay? Gonna use Eureka. So I don't like messing around too much in the menu, but for the purpose of killing this mimic, which might drop strength boost gonna go into my shield. And put it in my weapon. So now I'm hitting for... I forgot something. I'm supposed to show you, and I did not show you. Okay, first, I'm sorry about this. I didn't mean to. Look at that, 0 damage. It doesn't like fire damage. Okay. If you analyze the weapon, which is the chest, you will find out that is weak to fire. Okay. Look at this. Now I'm dealing damage. Okay. Is weak against piercing damage, but look at that. The accuracy on the body and legs is so low that I don't want to hit it with piercing damage, so I'd rather hit the tail with fire damage. Okay? And a crit, even better. So these mimics are actually having some rare drop where they sometimes can drop you fine wine, and just like elixirs, they boost the stats. So even though I don't like swapping too much in the menu, that's something I do. Okay, because one, I wanted to show you something, and two, because I want my stat boost. Stat boost is awesome. Oh, I messed up. It doesn't matter if you drain me and you'll fall. So these goblins are weak, but they have a ton of HP. And what is annoying about this is that you have to chain them a lot. And look at my risk. It's disgusting. Okay, these bats are pesky with their evasion, so let's do this. And it's gonna be a lot easier. Come on. So I have a negative swing with undead and phantom. And it's not the first time I forget about this trap. It's fine. Okay, so these goblins, they are goblin leader. You can use paralysis pulls on them. Okay, and they're not gonna be able, never mind, that's not what I meant. You can use dulling impact on them, and they are not gonna be able to poison you I mean, to paralyze you or to degenerate you, which is key. Also, one thing to note is that they are weak to blunt damage, meaning that I would actually do more damage to them with my staff than with my sword. Okay, so I'm gonna let it. It's paralyzed. I forgot. Okay, so I'm gonna degenerate it because I need to make sure I'm not wasting too much resources for healing my risk. Otherwise, they are just gonna take forever to kill. So I'd rather use a degenerate on a weapon I'm weak against. I said on a weapon, on an enemy I'm weak against, rather than swapping weapon all the time, which is something I usually do. Just a simple degenerate. It's faster, it's simpler, and it works. So, don't forget, I know I don't use it because I know this game very well, but if you are not sure what you should do against an enemy, analyze it and look against what he is weak. But most of the time, if you played Final Fantasy games, it's actually quite obvious. If you are fighting a fire elemental, use water. If you are fighting something that is earth, like a golem, stone golem, use air. This dragon doesn't matter. My Hagen short sword is gonna make I forgot what I was gonna say, or maybe it's my English, it's not that great, but it's gonna get through that enemy quite fast. Just go to the tail and chain it. Until it's dead. I know my risk. I know. So I'm having the strength will. Yes. The strength is my lowest stats. No, it's agility will. Too soon. Oh, that sucks. Okay. So, do I still have Dunning pack? Yes, I do. I guess it's not gonna matter. I didn't fight because of my risk, it's too high at the moment. I'm gonna let it cool down. That suck. Come on. That's it. What? Okay. That's better. I felt stuck for a second. So no more risk, which is great. So I had the grimoire. Gonna start with this because I don't like him. That's a miss. So that's it. And now I'm gonna degenerate this. I know it's removing the silence, I know, but he's not gonna have time to cast a spell if he's dead. No jam, I don't care. So if I go this way, there's a bus. But if I go this way, there's a chest. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the gain magic. And now I don't want too much risk. That's good. So when the risk is higher like this, you get more chance to unlock a chest. So in this chest they give something against the next boss, okay? Which is Grimoire Undying. And that's a good one, okay? Gonna gain intelligence. Gonna degenerate this. And heal my risk with the variable, because this thing has a lot of evasion. One thing you could do also against it, once it's degenerated, you can use your HP to do Rending Gale, because it deals piercing damage, which is good against them. Okay, I'm gonna show you, okay, because if I go on this path, there's also a mimic, okay, and gonna show you. If I use Rending Gale on the body or the legs, I'm doing a whooping 50 damage to it. And this one could increase my intelligence if it's dropping. So I'm gonna take advantage of the fact it could drop. Also, one thing I was given in the other chest is the mana breaker. So the mana breaker is giving me extra evasion against the spells, and the next boss is a spell user, okay? So if we use the AoE spell, there's a chance he miss. So that's the fire defense is a trap. The one I want is the water damage. So I also want the Crimson Pain, because it's going to go much faster. So let's degenerate the boss. So the Frost Vision is giving me a lot of water damage to my weapon. It's giving me 60 more water affinity in my weapon, and it's removing my fire affinity while it's active. And 60 water damage is the equivalent of plus 15% attack power on the weapon. So right now you see that my attack strength there's 21 because of my weapon. Okay, and the equipped power, the equipped is 126. That's my attack power. So I have almost 15 extra percent to my attack power. Okay, so I deal more damage because of this. So let's aim for the head to shut down the AoE spells. And it's that easy. Told you. Vagrant Story is not a hard game. It's just a game that is badly explained. Too soon again. Bad tonight. So I'm gonna change my setup for a fire setup. Gonna trash it's garbage, by the way. I'm gonna use this one. It has a 3 strength bonus, so I'm gonna be hitting harder. I have more intelligence, offense and attack. I will deal 15 extra fire damage when I'm dealing fire damage. Okay, and I'm dealing blunt damage. It's 10 extra. Okay, and piercing is 5, and edged I have no benefit with my swords. Okay, but it's fine because for the next part that's what I want. I want to be dealing fire damage, and I'm gonna put this in my staff. I'm missing all. Well, wow. I think it's time to sleep. I'm missing all my wheels, and I'm doing funny things like jumping without catching the ledge. These ones are a pain. No. So if I'm not chaining it to its death, it's not gonna using degenerate on me. So that's what I want. So he's gonna attack me. And I'm not seeing what I'm doing. It's dead. And it should be dead soon. So I need to heal my risk because I don't have my Vagrant equipped, so it's even more important. That's a good one. these bats are not liking fire, which is good. But at the same time, it's not so great because I cannot maintain my weapon DP if I cannot chain properly. So there's a boss behind the door. It's a troll. So first thing first, let's degenerate the boss. And he has a good chain defense, so go for it, buddy. I forgot something. It's called Crimson Pain. Because Crimson Pain is great. And that's it. Fire setup. It's gonna be good for a while. That's it, got it. I took a little extra time just to make sure I was spotting everything okay. So that's a bad thing about the mana breaker. I had 80% chance of missing my of hitting my spell. Okay, so there's a 20% chance of missing my own buff or healing. It's a little bit awkward when I want to heal because I don't want to shut my weapon because I want to use a phantom point. It's not so bad when I want a buff because I can shut my shield and weapon. Okay, and I maintain my full accuracy this way. But okay, so I want some MP. Then I'm gonna go back to my Crimson Pain. Chain sleeve is okay. With iron, it's a straight upgrade from my bandage. I think I'm gonna equip it right now. See? No, straight upgrade. No, it's not yet an upgrade. Maybe when it's gonna be again, but not now. Okay, so I'm gonna learn my new grimoire. It's a good target. I'm on a fire setup, so I deal extra fire damage. So I'm gonna take a moment to boost my strength because I forgot to use it again. And that's very bad. So what's the next wheel? It's the strength wheel. So, Grimoire Rempart. I don't actually need to do that, but I want to learn it. I never using these spell anymore after I learned them, but it's fine. So gonna soon use Rastasia. And I need 3 more MP for a degenerate. And that's it. Okay. Let's go. See, that's a crit and it dealt as much damage too fast. With the shield on, then normal hit. That's it. It's that easy. Water monster, use fire. Fire monster, use water. They give you the spell for that, they give you the gem for that. Use it. You don't have to swap weapon all the time. Too soon. No, I got it. I got it. That's great. Like it like this. So I'm gonna heal myself. That with my MP because I don't have him. You see this grimoire I just received? Okay. It's giving me more air affinity with my weapon, so the game is actually kind enough to give this to me just before I encounter Earth Dragon as my next boss. So they are quite generous with what they give you, but you don't know it when it's your first game. So I'm gonna kill a few undead with my staff because I want some sword drop if possible. I want some grimoire drops if possible. And I want to walk toward my risk break break art. But I don't plan to farm this place too much. It's just because I want to give one try to actually try to get the grimoire drop from mages like this one. It could drop a grimoire if I'm lucky. These skeletons hit them in the body. That's the easiest place to hit. That's why I like the staffs over the Salkis. It destroys the skeletons. That's a mage that may drop a grimoire with the thunder spell. If you drop the staffs, it's fine also. It's summon a bottom or a clergy rod, I'm not sure. and that hurts. And that's why you want a shield and HP. By HP I mean being near full HP all the time and keeping the risk low, because it could have been 200 damage if I was with risk like at 60. And with the 2-handed weapon. So in this room, what I want is there's a Ferengi that I want, but there's also a short sword. I don't want the short sword. What I actually want is the gem inside the shortcut. The short sword. It's another Braveheart. So what I like about having multiple Braveheart is that instead of carrying over my Braveheart across my weapon and swapping it all the time, I can just have one weapon ready to be swapped without moving the gems. So that's what I like about having one more Braveheart. This one is dropping Earth Grimoire. That could be nice, but you have to remember these are very rare drop. So if you want to grind for it, it could take a while. But sometimes I'm lucky and I get a drop on the first try in a room. But it's Vagrant Story made easy. It's fine. I don't need those drops. But it makes the life easier. So if you want an easier life, you can grind for those, but it's not something that's gonna stop you from doing good damage. I was supposed to hit the legs of this one. It's easier, but never mind, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna leave my fire setup. And I'm gonna return to my short sword with the Braveheart for the next part. And we're heading to the Snowfly Forest. What's the next stat wheel? It's gonna be agility. So skipping some cutscenes because, as I said, it's not this kind of playthrough. It's not that I don't like the story. I know the story quite well. It's a very nice story. I know they made a remake of Vagrant Story. This one is a PS1 version on an emulator using Linux. I hope when they made the remake that they added a weapon swap system, because convenience. That's gonna hurt. So you have to understand that for the next boss, if you are not at full health and with your shields up, he can one-shot you. And I'm not joking. Even if the risk is low. Like at 0. So I'm gonna use my left vision. And it's annoying because I took some damage. These lizards, they are pesky. So what you should be doing, okay, it's an air dragon, so you should be dealing air damage. But as you close the dragon, okay, and you have time to red you with its acid red, you have to jump. Okay. Otherwise, you will take approximately 240 to 260 damage with the shield in your hand. I forgot my Crimson Pain. Come on. Get it. So, let's heal with the Cure Bulb because of my Mana Breaker. And let's take a Vera root because I'm gonna miss otherwise. Okay. I think that should be it. That's it. Okay, did I say it was agility will? I think it is. That's it. Got it. Nice timing. So I'm healing without the shield because I don't want to miss. Let's head back this way. I think I had an elixir. No. So I will use Prestasia now. No, not Prestasia. I left vision now because the lizard acid breath will be doing increased damage against me, so I don't know if you remember the 100 damage I took from this lizard earlier. I don't want to take like 200 damage because I'm on the wrong defense spell. So now instead of the left vision, I want first vision. I may miss the buff because I forgot to shut my shield. Always use the 40% damage first. This way you keep your weapon full DP, which is great. This chest is a good one. I said to use the 41 first, the 40% first. I did not listen to my own advice. Chain sleeving legging. I'm gonna take it, but I know I'm gonna eventually discard those. So knuckle guard is good. Everything is good here. You take everything. So I can discard these crappy things. Okay, so now I'm gonna disassemble my shield. I'm gonna use a new shield. Okay, because it's a better one. So the new thing I have is the Sylphid Ring, which is one of the best accessory in the war game. For the first playthrough, it's something I will keep equipped for almost all the game because it gives 15 into edged, but it also gives 15 into air, which is a very nice element. All because of this. Fuck that, it's in my shield. I didn't disassemble this one. I should have, because of this Gin Amber. Okay, you have to understand this Gin Amber gives 30 air, which is the equivalent of 7.5 damage, percent damage. So I'm gonna use a Night Killer instead, which allow me to evade non-magical damage by 20% increase evasion. Sorry about my English, I know it's terrible, but if you mind it, just don't listen to it, otherwise I don't care. But I still want to apologize for people that are listening to this. So now I have an air blade, okay, and I'm doing Why did I remove my gem? Okay, I still have it. And with my new accessory, I'm doing an increased air damage and edge damage. So I maybe have less accuracy, but I will hit a lot harder. So I'm gonna still use the frost vision because for this one I want water damage. I need to repair. I'm tired. That's it. Okay, so now that I have the Night Killer, I don't have to worry about my eating spell anymore being missed. So, gonna go back to left vision. So, instead of doing Prostasia, which is another trap, new players tend to go for Prostasia. Okay, you will deal a lot more damage with left vision or any other vision spell. That's a good drop. I don't know if you remember, but I was doing about 40 damage on these flying things before the accessory. Okay, so it's a very good accessory. And it's boss time. So what's the stat wheel I will get? Lowest stat is strength. It's an easy fight. So let's degenerate the armor. He's gonna drop something useful against the human. That's called Grissom. Doesn't matter. You can drain me. Doesn't matter. That's it for this one. So this katana is good. Let's keep it. So now I want to tarnish the Grissom, and I want to swap my weapon for something that deals physical damage, and my broadsword here is quite good at this. Let's go. So I have tarnish in the new grimoire. I will deal a little bit of extra damage. He is immune to degenerate, by the way, which is why I'm tarnishing him. I learned the new spell. So yeah, my accuracy is not so great, but I want to hit the head. Because that will shut down the Thunderburst spell, and he has a good chain defense except in its leg, where he's not able to dodge them very well. Well. I said he wasn't dodging them very well, and he does. That's bad luck. Thank you, Sydney. Sydney is teaming up with me. And that's it. That's how you do this. Fight easy. So it's the strength wheel. Too soon. I took this one song. That's a bad one. That's an upgrade for my staff. So let's discard some of these junk. I don't want this. Let's go. Let's go in the chest. That's a Ferengi and that's great. I want that. So let's return to my air setup. That was the one I was using. Let's go. So these wizards, man, there's a lot of them in this location. What happens that their huge weakness is air, so I'm not gonna have a hard time killing them. Oops, I want MP. Let's gain magic. I'm thinking about it. There's a few more I could learn. Let's unlatch this door. It's funny because it's easy not to fight them. That's it seems to be a Ferengi. No, it's a short sword, I think. So I'll take my wizard staff. Not sure if the brave arc is inside it. No, it's not. Let's use it. And since I'm going here, That's not the right one. That's Crimson Pain I wanted. Where's Crimson Pain? Oh, I want this one. Let's learn a new spell. Now. Let's use this. Yes. That's better. That's not better. Not enough MP. I'm slow. Guess I will have to go to sleep soon. I'm too slow. Okay, so by coming here, I add a sigil that will allow me to take an alternate path soon. Okay, and this alternate path will lead me to another sigil that will unlock a good workshop later on in the game. Let's skip the cutscene and let's go into this workshop. So there's a little bit of work to be done over there. So I'm gonna repair my stuff first thing first. Let's upgrade my shot sword. Okay, I have Ferengi. That is the +1 tier, so I can get a sword that is +2 tier above the one I'm using. So it's a straight upgrade. Okay, and the katana I had can be combined with the broadsword. Okay, so that's another straight upgrade. Okay, I think that's it for the weapon part, except I want to disassemble my wizard stuff. I would disassemble those weapons also because I don't care about those. I'm gonna keep 3 weapons. So I'm using the Shamshir with a knuckle guard, which is another upgrade. So I'm using the Brave Heart with the Gin Amber. Okay, so it's a lot better than the other version because it has more hit rate and it's all air setup. Okay, I'm gonna assemble my wizard stuff with Sarisa grip, which is an upgrade from the sand face because there's more strength and more blunt to it. Gonna give it keep it blank for now. I'm gonna make my executioner with a crossguard because I don't have any better than this. So it's my human weapon. So with these shields, okay, you have to remember that you don't want to mix Agani with bronze, okay? It's bad because you will have -5 across the board except for physical. So I will mix the bronze one together to get a tower shield, okay? Tower shield is still better than my other shield, I think. I'm not sure. Yes, it is better. Okay, as I said, it is still better, so I will disassemble my new shield. And I'm so tired, I do bad stuff. And I will put the gem inside my newest shield. Now it's improved. And with the armor side, I can get a Agani chain sleeve. So let's do that. Okay. I can also try this. That's bad. Chain sleeve, chain cove. That's better. No, that's not better at all, actually. That's... wow, I'm tired. I thought I would mix it with my bronze chain sleeve. And I was using my bronze chain sleeve, so that means I'm ready for bed. It doesn't matter anyway because I wasn't going to equip the stuff that I was merging, but still it proves to me that I need sleep. So gonna equip my Shamshir, my tower shield, as well as my Agani chain sleeve, because it is worth it. And this is okay. It's not that great. And I think the chain cove was alright, but whatever. Anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. I really have to go. Gonna save on my old game because I don't care. See you soon, guys. Have fun. Stay healthy.